Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing back. New show, new format. We doing some new things, man. David versus David. But before we get going, I got my guy, man, the Puerto Rican Prince D Free. And we got, a guy, he from Chi-Town, but he represents Tennessee. We got my man CDK in the house, man. So I'm gonna let Free get started. I'm gonna grab something, but we're gonna come back and y'all better get y'all pen ready. I'm about to fry Free today.
What's going on with you, CDK? CDK, I don't know what's going on with his mic. But what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, less than a month away. Got David versus David. Gonna be an interesting fight. Like I said, I still got Morrell over David Benavidez. It ain't gonna be an easy fight, but I think he's up for the task. Um, David Benavidez gonna come in there. He's going to try to knock Morrell out. I think that might play right into the hands of Morrell. You're dealing with a nice, well, probably the best boxer at 175 or 168. Wherever you want to put him at. Right now, he's at 175. So he's probably the best boxer at 175. I think David Benavidez is tailor-made for David Morrell. If David Morrell comes in there on his A game, I think David Benavidez is tailor-made for him because David Benavidez, he's improved with his head movement and things like that. But I think he's still more of that come forward high guard and try to wear you down. But David Morrell, he has nice footwork and he throw punches from different angles. As long as David Morrell um, doesn't get caught laying on the ropes or get caught in a corner, I think it's going to be a easy boxing match for David Morrell because I don't think David Benavidez has been in there with somebody that has the total package as David Morrell has. He's been in there with Cater Plant, who's a boxer, but he's not really a puncher like that. And he's been in there with Boo Boo, who's a boxer puncher. But Boo Boo was moving up from 68. I mean, I'm sorry, 60, and he had one fight at 68. And he didn't look good. Um, with Cater Plant just he has a gas tank issue. He can't keep that same energy for all 12 rounds. So with David Morrell, we haven't seen David Morrell get tired, and he fought a couple of 12 rounders, but well, I ain't gonna say a couple. He fought quite a few 12 rounders because he's been the WBA champion since I think like his third fight. He's been the WBA champion. So but as far as a couple 12 rounder, because a lot of those guys haven't made it the distance. So I don't know if David Benavidez has quite seen anybody with the caliber of opponent as David Morrell. Now I know David Morrell probably has never seen the caliber opponent as David Benavidez. I don't know what David Morrell faced in the amateurs because he got a decent amateur background. I don't know why BoxRec only have up 137 of his fights. But according to BoxRec, he's 135 with only 2 losses, according to BoxRec. But he has more than 137 fights, and he has more than 2 losses. But he still faced a lot of different type of fighters. Um, and we all know the Cuban boxing style is a mixture of the slick black fighter and the I'm not gonna say European style, but somewhat of a European style is a mixture of both. Um, but David Morrell is probably one of the best ones to ever do it because you just look at his amateur background and then look at his pro career. He's probably one of the best to ever do it. So I mean, I got David Morrell. Until somebody beat David Morrell, I'm picking David Morrell over everybody not named Arthur. I ain't picking him over Arthur. Arthur he's a different type of animal. Um, I don't know what happened to CDK. He dropped off. I don't know what happened to him. But you on mute, BVO? You on mute?
Okay, my bad. We back. We back. We got my
Good.
man. We got my man in here. Pull up. We got my man.
Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year,
City.
brother. Happy New Year. Free.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all guys.
Uh, you gotta fix your name on your thing. Hold on one second. I think you messed up your name on here. Hold on. But you know what I will say though? Speaking of the David versus David part fight, I'm excited. The thing I will say, I'm just wondering what made Morrell take a fight like this so early in his career. I think it makes sense, but I guess I just don't see why you would fight a guy as tough as Benavidez and you really haven't fought anybody, near that level. That's my only thing. For he hasn't really fought anybody near that level. So that's my kind of.
Um, well, I mean, he hasn't fought nobody, quote unquote, on David Benavidez level,
Hmm.
far as what you believe, because David Benavidez hasn't fought the guys that he's fought. So far as you believe, he hasn't fought anybody on David Benavidez level. And I mean, I can't say that David Benavidez will beat everybody that he fought. I would favorite David Benavidez, but say that he would beat everybody, I'm not going to say that because they got to get in the ring and prove it. I would say he will be favored against everybody that Morrell's fought. And I think Morrell will be favored against a lot of the guys that David Benavidez fought as well. Um, but like I said, I can't say neither one of them will beat everybody on the resume because they got to get in the ring and prove it. But the one thing that stood out to me when I was looking at these two individuals, what I didn't notice, and it caught my eye because I don't know how I missed it. What I didn't notice was David Morrell has a 4-inch arm reach advantage over David Benavidez. I didn't know that. I thought their arm reach was roughly about the same, or David Benavidez had a longer arm reach. I didn't know that David Morrell had a longer arm reach. So I don't think David Benavidez ever faced anybody with a longer arm reach to him. I think everybody he faced either had somewhat of a same arm reach advantage or he had the advantage.
Yeah. I say this just as a caveat to this fight, I think it's gonna be well worth it. But my question would be this, and I start off with you can answer this, but would a winner replace Canelo as that Mexican star or as that Spanish star? What do you guys think?
I let CDK answer.
Man, yeah, happy. How y'all doing, man? Free. Happy New Year to both of y'all fellas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, bro. Before I answer that, just to think about what I was listening to what Free said, and I think that David Morrell is in for a long night. I don't see him making it out of there. Just to be honest with you, I don't think what I'm saying. I like him. I think it's
Hmm.
too early in his career. I know how many amateur fights he had, but I'm going back and looking at his last fight, and I'm judging off competition. And we know who David Benavidez was in there with. He was in there with an ex-champion, a guy that was really good, that only had one loss, and we know who beat that guy. That was Arthur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that speaks high volume for what you're looking at. I ain't taking nothing from Morrell. I think it's gonna be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think it's gonna go to distance. I do feel like that maybe what I'm saying. Benavidez stops him. I think he's in for a long night. I don't think he's gonna be able to handle that high volume. Benavidez don't get tired. And like I said, I seen a lot of holes in his game last fight. Before that last fight with David Morrell, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, he might give this man real problems. After watching him in his last fight, that's basically what I'm judging it off. I could be wrong. I feel like that, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna end well for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
Um,
just think go ahead, Fred. Go ahead, Free.
no,
Go ahead.
I was gonna answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Um, does either one of these guys become the next Latino star? I would say this is the right step in that direction. I don't know if they automatically become that star because they still have to put other people on their resume. Because the
Mm.
reason Canelo is that star is because of the names that he has on his resume. Regardless of how what time frame he fought those guys in, it's the name recognition that everybody looks at. So it's the right step in that direction. I don't know if they would necessarily be catapulted to the next Latino star. But the one thing that I have to disagree with what CDK said, he said we don't see David Benavidez get tired. We did the last fight.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
yeah, he did a little bit. He did. I agree with you. I agree with you. But let me say
Yeah.
this for you right here. To answer the question, what BBO was saying, if y'all don't mind. Hey, happy New Year, Crush.
What's going on, CDK? Salute to you. D Free, BVO, what's up, bro?
What's
Just
going
to
on?
comment on that, I think that we've already seen David Benavidez has been putting names on his resume for the last 2 years now. So I think he's closer to being the star than David Morrell. David Morrell would definitely have to beat him to, catapult, because just me talking to people in general about boxing around, like a lot of people don't know who David Morrell is, and it's kind of strange to me. I know we know who he is, but I can't believe it. But I realize that I do be talking to a bunch of casuals outside of being on YouTube and just talking to people at work and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And they always asking me about boxing. Who is Maria? You know what I'm saying? I noticed that. So I don't know how it's gonna play out. Like I said, I think David Benavidez, because he's had better competition. That's what I'm basing on. The Cater plants, Boo Boo. You know what I'm saying? He's already been under the spotlight. So that's why I kind of lean towards him. I give him the advantage. I still think it's gonna be a great fight, and it could go either way. I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards Benavidez, but at the same time, it can go either way.
Go ahead, Crush.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to the panel, shout out to the chat. This gonna be a great fight. One of the most anticipated fights in recent time, in my honest opinion. Um, but before I get into who's gonna win this fight, it's about who's gonna be the replacement of Canelo. And the fact is that it's going to have to be one or two of these guys right now, because when you think about the Latino fighters overall, I think these two guys, and with this fight, they have the advantage over the other Latino fighters that they talk about. But this could have easily been someone like Teofimo Lopez, but he's still in his group with the nonsense. I'm just going to be honest. So he gave up that edge. Ryan Garcia with the goofiness, it could have been him. They messing up. So right now, if there's anybody that's running up to be the replacement for Canelo, or the Latino face of boxing, is these two guys. And I think I agree with D Free said, but this fight between these two dudes, I think it jump starts it and put them in place, and then they have to add on. But this fight, whoever wins definitely gets the edge and move forward to being the replacement of the Latino fighters. But I got David Benavidez winning this fight. I like David Morrell. I think I'm always looking for veteran shit. You see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
David Benavidez is a veteran, and he's not an old veteran. You see what I'm saying? He's not beat up, got a lot of mileage on him. So that's a good thing. Morrell, he's still coming up in the sport, and this is a big jump in competition, more so for Morrell than it is for David Benavidez, because David Benavidez has faced better opposition. And even if you think that Morrell is technically or naturally a better skilled fighter than some of the guys that he fought that is a bigger name, no problem with that. But that would have to show fight night. And he brings a lot to the table. So if Morrell go in there and look like he's going there, try to go in there and straight knock him out, meaning he gonna be right in front of him, and that's a bad place to be for him, because they will Benavidez do not waste punches. He throws punches nonstop, and he's fast with his hands, and he switch speeds. So Morrell got a problem on hands. Now, if he can avoid all that by being on angles and flanking to his right and flanking to his left when he has to step back or even coming forward, he's going to have to be able to bob and weave and tuck under that, get away from that jab and then try to throw and counter. So we got to see. Now, far as his counter punching ability, I never really paid too much to it with Morrell, but I guess it's average. You know what I'm saying? I think you need more than being an average counter puncher to go ahead and try to punch with David Benavidez. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. Oh, BVO popped up at the top.
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, hey,
My bad. My
Crush, I just
bad.
want to say this to
Hold on.
BVO, man. I'm really disappointed in your team, the Cleveland Browns. And I'm gonna tell you,
Uh-oh.
you killed my whole ticket. You killed my whole ticket tonight, man. They were giving you 20 points. They gave you 20 points. I said nobody in the NFL can get 20 points and lose by 20. You did it.
Well, we got to remember, we don't got Jameis starting, so I mean, we wasn't going to score.
Yeah,
You know?
man. You could have put up 17. I changed the point spread to 23 free. I changed it and gave them 3 more points. They still got beat.
I mean, you gotta remember, man. We trying to get Shador Sanders, man. We finished, man. We made our little mistakes, but that's cool. We made our little mistakes, but the Browns be back, so we ain't gonna talk about the Browns right now. But I will say this though. Just to kind of switch a little bit gears of what we're doing. I want to bring up Martin Bacoli, because Martin Bacoli has been making so much noise in boxing lately. His trainer came out and recently said that he's going to stop Usyk and he's going to hurt Daniel Dubois. What do you guys think about Martin Bacoli's trainer coming out saying these things? Which is things I think he's supposed to say. What do you guys think about that? Him coming out with being so fresh.
Well, if I may go first and be real quick and be brief. Hey man, confidence. You supposed to have confidence in what you doing for as a trainer. You know what you prepping your fighter for, and you gotta have that confidence in your fighter too. And hey, I don't have no problem with it. Now the thing is, he gotta get in the ring and prove it. So we won't know if he can actually do it until he gets in the ring with these guys, and hopefully he does.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
What
Fred.
Yeah. Far as
but
I don't know if he beats those guys. I would think if he beats any of them, it probably will be Daniel Dubois.
I knew
Um,
he's.
I think he might be able to beat Daniel Dubois. I don't think he beat Usyk because I don't think he will ever face Usyk. I think Usyk's gonna rematch Daniel Dubois, and then I think he's gonna retire. I don't think he's gonna ever face Usyk. But I mean, I know that Martin Bacoli stopped those guys in sparring, but I'm not real big on what happens in sparring because sparring is sparring. Um, but what I will say is he's not the typical heavy. He's not the typical heavyweight. He's not that typical oversized heavyweight. He's more of a boxer puncher heavyweight. Like
Yeah.
you look at his size and you'll think that he's just going to use his size to lay on you and try to work you on the inside. He didn't do that with Big Baby Anderson. He stayed on the outside and was throwing shots from the outside. So he's a different type. You look at him and think one thing, but then when you get in the ring, you find out it's something totally different. So he can surprise a lot of people because of his boxing ability, but I don't think he will I don't think he will ever face Usyk. But I think he has a shot of beating Dubois. Do I think it will happen? Hey, we got to see them in the ring to find out.
Oh, I don't think